tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster. Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die.
Is this world protected? But you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them?
Hello. I'm the doctor.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I am feeling rather splendid. You know why I'm feeling rather splendid? Well, several reasons, actually. I won't know. Oh, 1 second, my thing's off. Here, you can just see up there. 1 second, wrong hand. You can just see a bit of an action figure now. How much of... I'm doing it wrong. How am I doing this wrong? There you go, right there. You just see a bit of an action figure. Now, how much of a Rabbi aficionado are you? What part of an action figure is that? It is, of course, the Sycorax. It's the Sycorax, right? Chasing a space pig. What else could it possibly... What else would you expect it to be, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, good evening, good morning. I've recently updated my computer. I did that yesterday. It's always a stress fest, right? It's always a stress fest. I never know if things are going to work or not afterwards. The only real difference is now there's a little green box at the top of my screen, which with a camera on it, which I think means that my camera's working. Good news, right? Good news, ladies and gentlemen. So thank God for that. Yeah, it's all going down, baby. It's all going down. We've had an explosion. Of Doctor Who news, or what? Not news stuff. Doctor Who stuff to talk about, right? And boy, there is a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about, was it the Mirror or the Daily Mail? I think it was the Mirror, but I'm not sure. Do I have the article from the Daily? I can't remember where I got the article from. Breaking the news about the new Paul McGann series. My theory is this: they watched my last live stream and went, "Yeah, that'll do." Where I predicted just this very occurrence, right? Actually, I think on Sunday. Just this very occurrence. That's so. It's an interesting one, right? I haven't read the article yet. We will go over it together. We will. What else we're going to be looking at? We've got a bunch of stuff. We're going to be talking about. We'll look at banning and comments. I don't really want to get to stuff I don't normally get to because I'm too busy talking about the Israel Hamas war. But man, it's incredible, right? It is incredible how quickly people just completely forget everything that's going on, right? It's really, I mean, all you got to do is show them pictures of a kid covered in dust and like, oh no, cease all the humanity. I mean, for goodness sake, what do you think war looks like, baby? I mean, it's just not warm and fluffy. Although, then I also want to talk about the Republican debate last night, which I had zero interest in watching, less as it could not care less, right? And then I woke up this morning and saw something like Vivek Ramaswamy just destroying it. And then by the afternoon, the papers came out and they just say, oh no, he did very badly. Really? Oh, man, this is why legacy media is worth it, you know? And I got a good friend of mine, right? A good friend of mine who I like a lot. Really good, decent person, right? Don't say that about many people. He's a really genuinely good, decent person who is just so disconnected from the reality of what modern politics is, right? Still thinks they're living in the 80s in terms of like I don't know what to tell you. How many times do the Republicans need to get their asses handed to them before they realize they're wrong? So they got this like bizarre fantasy that goes, oh no, Donald Trump putting us down. You moron schmucks. No, Donald Trump's the best asset you bloody got. People liked it when they had money and like world peace and not rampant crime and like, you know, not out of control anti-Semitism bang on the streets. It's not like literally having anti-Semitic rallies on your freaking street. And speaking of which, oh man, I just so hope. I know this is bad for me. I like, you know, any normal sane person will go, of course, I hope there's no violence at all on the Armistice Day Memorial Day. I hope there's no violence at all from the Muslim community. No, cocksucker, I hope it's happening. Right? Oh, yes. Oh, man, will that work out good for me? I mean, bad for you, obviously, in England, but and terrible for the poor soldiers who gave their lives so this travesty could happen. But good for me. Okay? I treat life like it's Survivor sometimes. You just got to do what's good for you, baby. And I'm not even doing it. I'm just hoping it's going to happen. Okay, I feel better now. I'm not doing it. I'm just hoping it's going to happen. And it's going to happen. Oh, my God. Is it going to happen? Meanwhile, Douglas Murray is like being the poshest and most Englishman defending Israel so staunchly. Did we grab that bit from... it was on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, God bless him. I think he's done excellent work, right? I really think he's doing excellent journalism, even though I disagree with him so fundamentally on some issues, right? I think he's doing like very... I don't want to do that. Is it a 30-minute clip? I don't want to do a full 30-minute bloody video. You out your mind? I thought there was a quicker one. It's there somewhere. Fine, we'll just... No, that's not the one. Is that... Yeah, no, this is the one. Fine. What was it? Douglas Murray, right? Douglas Murray. Man. Yeah, again, he makes a brigadier look foreign. This guy is so freaking British. And so deeply on Israel's side, which I guess you should be. Again, he states that case very well. But yeah, look, it just seems like there's going to be no respect, and it's going to be absolutely kick off by the Armistice, which is terrible, right? I mean, it's absolutely terrible. But again, good for me. Right, we're going to skip through this because it's too bloody long, right?
Douglas Murray, who's on the Gaza border. Douglas, let me ask you first of all, why have you felt the need to go there?
Well, I've covered every Israeli conflict since the 2006 Lebanon war. I've covered...
Well, I don't know. I know nothing about 2006 Lebanon war.
Lots of other conflicts as well, and this one is obviously an incredibly important conflict. It's one that is going to be crucial not just for Israel but for the region, and I like to see these things firsthand, as you know, Piers.
I do, and I've read your stuff for many years about these kind of conflicts. Let me ask you...
The thing I like about Piers Morgan is, again, he has people that I vehemently disagree with, and he has points of view that I vehemently disagree with. But I think as an independent observer, right, without skin in the game, he's like, well, this guy says this guy says this. It seems very, very... This seems like the best journalism I've seen about the whole situation. But I want to skip forward a little bit.
What's your feeling on the ground there? I know you've been with some of the IDF. What is your feeling about the motivation for this war from the Israelis?
Well, I think he also saw the footage as well. Man. Have you seen pictures of the people when they see that footage? See if I can find any of that. Well, let me talk for a minute while I look.
Side. Is it revenge? Is it something different? What are you picking up?
It's super not revenge.
Well, it's not revenge. I mean, I think the most obvious thing is
Thank you there, Douglas.
spent part of today at the kibbutz of near Oz. This is a kibbutz right down the road from here by the Gaza border, where there are about 400 residents. 80 of them were kidnapped on the 7th of October, and another 30 to 40 were murdered. And I went through the remains of their houses, saw all the blood-spattered walls, and went through the charred remains of that village, that community. That was just one of the massacre sites. I went earlier past the massacre site of what you'll remember there was a music festival.
Right, so they're taking him around. Let's see if I think whizzes forward, like he pushes back on Piers, which I like.
How easy or difficult a job that is another question, but it's something that is going on as we speak.
But in terms of the moral quandary which I've been feeling, and it's not about Israel wanting to eliminate Hamas. I completely agree with that
this is worth listening to.
Statement. And certainly there's no chance of any peace when you have a terror group in charge of Gaza in the way that they've now completely established themselves to be, with no limits and just a desire to eradicate Israel and as many Jewish people as they can kill. So let's park that to one side. I concur with the mission statement. But it is incredibly difficult, just on a human level, to see, because we know the civilian population in Gaza is half children, to see the sheer numbers of kids who are being killed by the Israeli onslaught that's come back against Hamas. What do you feel about that on a human level? What should we all be feeling about that?
The first thing is, should those deaths really be attributed to the Israeli side? We saw the other day, the BBC and other media reported that the people who were lying dead on the street on one of the main routes through Gaza was alleged to be a massacre carried out by Israelis. It turned out it wasn't the case at all. It was Hamas massacring Palestinians fleeing south, as the Israelis had recommended.
Wait. You're telling me the BBC lied about Israel? Really? That happens, does it? Wow, okay.
And did they do? So the question, in a way that you ask, I would say there's an answer to, which is who exactly is responsible for these deaths? If you do, as Hamas does, decide to build bunkers and put rockets on them and then put hospitals on top of them, who exactly is responsible for that? Is it the Israelis and their response, or is it Hamas for doing that?
I don't think he's asking a question. I think he's making a point.
You do decide, as Hamas has done, to use all of these billions of dollars of international aid to build tunnels where you can hide, among other things, the kidnapped Israelis. Who's responsible for the strikes that happen as a result and any civilian deaths? Is it the Israelis or is it Hamas, who has been holding the Palestinian peoples of the Gaza hostage for the last 15 years and more? Again, I repeat this point. You know, a lot of what has been said about this seems to suggest that Hamas has no responsibility for this. You know, if you went into your neighbor's house, ransacked it, raped your neighbors, killed some of them, took others into captivity, and then somebody said, that's not on, I'm going to do something in retaliation to that,
Again, it is the most Englishman ever.
You would bear the cost of that. You'd bear the price for that. The Israelis have the right to respond to such an atrocity. And I'm rather surprised, or at least I'm not surprised in a way. I'm disappointed as ever by the number of commentators in the UK and elsewhere who always use times like this to say things like, we've got to. You know, this is a time for judicious voices. This is a time for calm and much more. I do always wonder if those people would say the same or feel the same if it was a bit closer to their own home. You know, if it wasn't a kibbutz down the road, like the one I was in earlier that had been attacked, but a village after village in the south of England, I don't think we'd be hearing those same.
Could you imagine? Honestly, could you imagine if they did that in the villages in the south there? Holy crap! What would their response be? I mean, like, keep in mind that the British military, their acceptable civilian casualties is, I think, for every 4 deaths, one of them is a enemy combatant. That means every 4 people that get killed, 3 of them are civilians. Some of them little children. Incredible. Where Israel, it's 1 for 1. So for every 2, you get a enemy combatant. Although it seems to be going very bloody well right now.
Voices. I think there's a very particular standard that the Israelis are held to. I think it's an unfair standard. It's an unequal standard. It's an
okay. This guy is the rarest thing. He's English. He's super posh, and he's like telling the truth. I mean, with
horrible standard for the rising. We have Hamas commanders, after all, who live in London very safely.
Oh yeah.
Well, my own view is that
the pro-Palestinian marches, and specifically the one planned for Armistice Day here in London on Saturday. Do you think it should go ahead?
Well, my own view is that it shouldn't, and it shouldn't because it's not because it should be banned, but because it's a grotesque.
Do you see that little flash in the background? Yeah, he has to duck and cover in a minute.
Insult to the British people. It's a deliberately provocative day to choose for such a march.
It's showing you who's in charge. That's why they're doing this march. So it's showing you who is in charge.
It's a deliberately provocative march. As the Telegraph showed just yesterday, around half of the organisers of the march are themselves linked with Hamas, which isn't at all surprising. We have Hamas commanders, after all, who live in London very safely, often on welfare. So, yes, I think it's an intolerable march. It's an intolerable
I'll get a bit where Piers pushes back on there, and then we'll move on.
Provocation to the British public and the British government and the British police, by the way, who Saturday after Saturday have been made to put up with unbelievable taunting and.
Okay, you won me over, Murray. But let's say we fight a little bit. Here we go.
The British public are just not going to put up with this. The march may be diverted.
But let me pick you up on that.
Diverted away from Whitehall, but
right. But let me pick you up on that, because it's interesting. Because you, like me, have been very vocal, and passionate defender of free speech, and we know that includes that you have to accept that other people you may vehemently disagree with have a right to free speech.
I felt that about Piers Morgan. I vehemently disagree with a bunch of his stuff. He can speak. Don't get me wrong.
Christopher Hitchens, someone that you and I both admire.
But this isn't.
No, I'm going to come to my question, but Christopher Hitchens said the only thing that should be upheld at all costs and without qualification is the right of free expression, because if that goes, then so do all other claims of right as well. Now, what was interesting to me, I've been on a bit of a journey this week about what I really think about this, and Nicholas Soames actually said something that really made me sit up and take notice and change my mind about it, actually, because he's Churchill's grandson, he's a Conservative, and he said strongly yesterday that he thinks the march should be allowed to go ahead because the very freedoms that the people on Armistice Day who we honour, who gave their lives in the war...
Fine, just get to his answer.
Right to...
We'll try to single those two things out for a second. First of all, I don't regard Nicholas Soames as a sort of hereditary inheritor of the mantle of Churchill just because he happens to be his grandson. Besides,
can this guy play Dan Dare? I mean, again, he's just so perfect.
What you quoted from Christopher earlier, he would never have said that right extended to supporting terror groups. I mean, we're in a total quandary in the UK, as you know, and it's a despicable quandary to be in. We host Hamas leaders. We have a former deputy prime minister of Iran living in Harrow. We've been at the centre of allowing these people to be in our country and indeed to plot terror from our country for years. So it's always a bit rich to hear the British, I think, lecturing others about being an unsound part of the international security community. As for the actual marches, look, I'm afraid that the rules on this are very, very clear.
Well, yeah, we're going to kind of go there. The rules are clear. The problem is that they're not enforcing the rules, right? And I'm not coming off to I'm not hiding. Go and watch the whole thing. I'm just don't want to get copyright struck. Quite frankly, I think we went way too long with that. But again, this guy is fascinating. However, with all this erudite intelligence, right? This is who you're trying to get through to. And it's mind-boggling how dumb this is.
Israel on the 7th of October. What was your initial reaction to that?
I don't believe they did, did they, Hamas?
I think so.
What do you don't think that? What the hell? It's the most thing. I mean, are you okay? Dumb or evil? Dumb or I can go either way on this one. dumb or evil? I think maybe both. But what? I don't think that happened. Let go that again.
Hamas invaded Israel on the 7th of October. What was your initial reaction to that?
I don't believe they did today, Hamas.
I think so. Honestly, like, I think I need to be a bit more clued up on like everything that's going on. So I feel like I'm not.
So why are you there, you dumb cunt? I mean, my God. So this is dumb country too. It's like, yeah, the ridiculous extreme.
Not really qualified to answer that too well.
I mean, I'm not sure if I've seen anything that shows that that's actually happened or actually correct.
I mean, the idiocy of you is beyond belief. Yeah, no, that happened. Right, so also the Holocaust. Really? Did the Holocaust happen? Well, of course. If I said that didn't happen, I'd be a bad person. I mean, just like dumb or evil. Tell you, there's been people waiting to be racist for years, and now finally they found an outlet. Like, oh, I love wokeism. Yes, that makes me be nice and racist. So yeah, so that's just beyond me. So anyway, what was it? Gal Gadot hosted a screening of let me see if I can find that picture. 1 second. Press screening of Hamas atrocities. Let's see press screening. Maybe press Hamas. That's right, Hamas. So I saw the picture and it was like perfect. I mean, like this look of shock and revulsion and horror, like literally like they're watching a horror movie. Let me see. Oh man, did I get smart and bookmark it? I don't think so. I don't think so. That really would have been way too clever for me. I bookmarked a whole bunch of stuff, but not that. Really? Oh, I'm a bad rabbi. No, that we got to look at. Hang on, fine. Let me just do a quick bit of scrolling. Because again, the people literally look like they were looking at a horror movie, right? It's a bizarre picture, to be real, right? And it really is real. It's bizarre, right? Because the atrocities are insane, right? They're the stuff that I must say. It's worse than the Nazis. It's got worse and worse and worse, right? The level, again, all the rapes as well. My God, I mean, like rape and murder. I mean, that just seems a bit much, quite frankly. In the words of Douglas, I think that doesn't seem like cricket. Oh, and at the same time, apparently, there's a CNN photographer embedded with the journal, embedded with Hamas during the kidnapping. Like, what the hell? I mean, again, are you shocked? So I on Talk Radio, they were asking, like, why do you think the police seem to be one-sided? Because they're one-sided, right? It's not complicated. A bunch of them don't like Jews, and a bunch more of them are Muslims, right? Who super don't like Jews. I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, I'm sorry, there is a and it's not. This is not like traditional. This is only goes back about 100 years or so. But there is a cultural dislike of Muslims, of Jews from Muslims, right? They could why? Because they believe like who was it said? Somebody said this is a second Nakba, and I'm like, well, that's good news because the Nakba was not what they said it was, right? The Nakba was essentially Israel winning the War of Independence. And they say, oh, they did terrible things. No, we bloody didn't. I mean, I don't know. It's gaslighting or is it projection? I don't think I can find this picture. Dang, it's a bummer. Because it really is. And it's the way a Braveman it's like trying to become prime minister because she's doing well for herself, I think, right? I think she's doing well for herself. Fine, I can't find it. So let's just look over here. Doink. Because look, these are hate marches. The bottom line, these are hate marches. So where was it? So they had a Gal Gadot wanted a screening of the was it Hamas and was it atrocities, and word got out, and weirdly again, this weird coalition of bullies, you know, the Hamas supporters of the world and the LGBTQ plus, you know, and friends, like they all get together and they just got to stop anybody saying what they did. That's why they tear down all the pictures, right? They tear down all the posters for that very reason. So this is what happened when they had a screening. Yeah, that's a news article about it. Let me pull that up. Hang on, doink. It was. Where was it? No, is that one? Where'd it go? I had that pulled up. I totally had it pulled up. The Daily Mail. What's that? I know where I can find it. It's somebody she sent it to me as a message. But I totally had that pulled up and ready to go. Oh, there's that, which is we can show. Doink. But that's not the thing I was looking for. But that does help. Yeah, doink over here. And then one more. Where is it? It can't be that far away. There we go. Ah, finally. Share screen. Doink. There we go. So, shocking moment. Gal Gadot screening of the Hamas terror attack ends with a mass brawl between pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian protesters outside the Museum of Tolerance. Ah! See, again, one of the reasons do I think, God is real, because he's got a sense of humor. Gal Gadot organized a screening of footage of Hamas, and like everything she did. I mean, okay, Wonder Woman 84 was a piece of shit, right? I kind of like that. Red Notice? I didn't see that other spy thing she was in, but like, she's just so classy. I'm sorry, I don't even find her that hot. Strange yet true. Organized a screening of the Hamas terror attack atrocities committed during October the 7th invasion of Israel. Police were dispatched to the area for security purposes ahead of the skirmishes and ended up having a pepper spray several people. Read more. Hamas has gang raped Israeli women. Yes, they did before. One shot her in the back of the head while he was still having sex with her. Bloody hell. Well, that's a bit much, isn't it? Blimey. Okay, video showing fights between protesters outside Los Angeles Museum of Tolerance. Every time I read that, I laugh. I'm sorry. Okay, with a screening of brutal mass terror attack. 47 minutes of footage provided by the Israeli Defense Forces was aired to select audience of celebrities and influential personalities and New York last night. Yeah, look, anybody who sees this, it like shakes the shit out of them. About 200 people attended the screening, though Gadot was not in attendance, nor was any major Hollywood stars, according to LA Times. That may have been due to the SAG-AFTRA strikes. So maybe they're just incognito. People bearing Israeli flags fighting with pro-Palestinians in the middle of the street can be seen in videos. Yeah, look, I mean, people are just ready to kick off. And I think my guess is it's the pro-Palestinians. They're just like, no! Don't tell anybody what Hamas did because they did everything right. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it's all about. So please let me go. Video. People spearheaded in the initiative. But yeah, no, it's cray, mate. I mean, it's just super cray. But again, we seem to be doing very well, right? I mean, Israel seems to be doing very, very well with this. Here it is. So let me show this. Share screen. Shut it down. Join us to interrupt the screening of propaganda. Okay, why is the body cam footage of what Hamas did that they shot propaganda? right? It's not propaganda. It's you looking bad and you losing the moral high ground, which you never really had to start with, right? If you're not white or Jewish, do not protest Gal Gadot. Well, if you're not white or Jewish, fine. So if you're black, right? Fine. Do not protest Gal Gadot propaganda film tomorrow in Los Angeles. Free Palestine, free Palestine. But like, why are they insisting it's propaganda? It's because there's really nothing else to say. I mean, that's really the bottom line, because there's nothing else to say. And then, I mean, the truth of the matter is just I don't know. I think that connected with just how obnoxious these protests have gotten, right? Is not doing them any favors, right? So yeah, this I thought was pretty much put things on in the nail on there.
What the Israeli army did in Gaza, oh my God. They stood by and secured humanitarian passage for Palestinians to safely evacuate to the south of Gaza. I repeat.
This is a big deal, by the way. I mean, this is really a big deal. Because without human shields, they're really fucked, right? And again, there's been pitch battles overnight. There was like a 10-hour battle last night. And we're really, I mean, I think there was one more killed on the IDF side, but like, I think quite a few more of them went down.
Here is an Israeli tank protecting Palestinian civilians who are walking peacefully to a secure location in Gaza. Now, previously this wasn't possible because Hamas was shooting Palestinian civilians who were trying to evacuate to the south of the Strip. But now that Israel's ground operation did this, they're able to secure this passageway for Palestinians fleeing the north without Hamas interference. Now, I think that it's fair to say that this is not a genocide, and it is.
Yeah, they're not going to listen. They just scream you're lying. So you lying, sneaky Jew.
Just more proof that Israel cares more about the Palestinian people than Hamas does. So support Israel. Free Palestine from Hamas.
Okay, I would agree with you even if you weren't so hot, all right? I really would. Next time you don't need the little black dressy thing, you know. I think just the flimsy see-through white shirt would be more than enough. Yeah, look, this is just one man's opinion, baby. Yeah, you don't need to take it, but yeah, I hope you do. What else did I want? Did I want to show you? Let's go over here for a second. Share screen. Give you a quick war update, because again, I don't know anything. I just know that like everything seems to be going quite well. IDF battles Hamas near Gaza City Shifa Hospital. That's a big deal. That's like their main base, right? 9,500 rockets fired since October 7th. Oh, can we get a picture of that? See, that would be really helpful if you can show me that map again. Where is it? Where is it? Biden saying it's taking longer than he hoped. Well, screw you, mate. What do you want that way? Why can't they have a photo gallery where I can just see where it is? Paul, 70% of Jews feel less safe than before the Hamas war. We're talking about outside of Israel. Well, I guess so. This is so annoying. Right? You just had this great map that I wanted to see more. Maybe IDF captures terror stronghold. Troops are closing in on Shifa Hospital. Yeah, man. We are really doing well from the looks of it. Did I get that? Here, 1 second. One guy, that's the last guy. Oh, is this a map? Can I download this? Is this coming out on screen? So I have no idea. Mass military. Yeah, they're in like the military quarter. I don't think it looks that pretty though. Just show it. Like nothing ever works well. Can we get that bit? See, this is one I really want. So how do I get that? A graphic about IDF on November 9th. Hang on. I've got an idea. Let's see if I go to IDF on Twitwat. IDF. Boink. Okay, it was November 9th. That's today, right? That's today. No, that's not it. Was it? No. Yeah, there's all these hot Israelis. Why don't they like have more hot Israelis doing the Oh, wait a minute. Here, stop. This could be my kid. Hang on, let me grab this. Okay, so my son has actually seen real combat, apparently. Right? He's had RPGs fired at him. Like real genuine real combat. And this is where he told me he was. Like he said it's just like being in a movie, right? Or a video game. But it's genuinely like that. Video file. Doink. Yeah, so this is what he told me he saw. It's so freaky when you see it and then you see it on the news. But he's like, yeah, he was out. He was out of his tank having a shit, which means if he can come out of his tank, that's good news. He was having a shit in the street in Gaza. So I'm like, well, everybody else did. And then he's like, I was worried going to get in trouble, but then I saw my commanding officer also having a shit. This is how the Israeli army works, baby. Yeah, we're in the area of the park. Yeah, so they've really got into the tunnel system, which is fantastic.
המתקנים, עיניים ששומר עלינו, גלגל ענק, סחה, היה פה אזור ישיבה לילדים.
There you go. Man, can you imagine that be the first one down? Fuck me. I don't know how they've had so few casualties. Yeah, look, and they put it, intentionally next to kids because they're bad people. Yeah, there's also this. This is a Hamas rocket base. Let me just go back to the tank that was. Yeah, that would be where my kid is, in one of these tanks. Maybe not those ones, but that's just definitely the sort of shit he's doing right now. Are those tanks or those APCs? I can't tell. I can't see the turret. The turret would be it's a tank. Yeah, you can see weapon cache right there. Like a bomb factory, missile factory. The structures of manufacturing explosives. And then the kids' bedroom. Now we're in the children's room. Like right there, and man, these people are not good people, right? They are not good people. Hang on, what else do I have? I think I had one more. Oh yeah, and this is just crazy. I understand I'm hating Israel, but why do you have to hate on cats? Yeah, that cat's gonna die, baby. That cat is gonna die. Yeah, and these people, I don't understand. None of you look good, right? None of you look good doing that. Yeah, that cat's gonna die. Oh, poor cat. I don't know. That kid's like going. Yeah, I'm going to kill that cat. Okay, I guess. Well, whatever floats your boat, baby. Whatever floats your boat. Anyway, so while this has been going on, I haven't been paying that much attention to American politics. Oh, wait. One last thing before I go over there. And then my wife liked this a lot. They made it to the beach in Gaza. And this is what I keep telling you about being prime beach real estate. Yeah, that's how you sing, baby. It's not very good. Yeah, so that's the national anthem. The sung very badly. But yeah, so and apparently most of the rocket fire has stopped from the north now, and it's moved to the south. I mean, we seem to be crushing it from what I can tell. They said this is going to go on till February, March. I think we could be done by Christmas, quite frankly. I think Hamas is just collapsing before our eyes really quickly. I mean, there may be no Hamas by the time we get to a ceasefire, which will be great. Anyway, I've been remiss in looking at American politics. I mean, honestly, yeah. Again, if Trump isn't a nominee, forget it. There's no hope, right? There's no hope whatsoever, unless he heavily endorses Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy freaking killed it last night in the Republican debate. I didn't watch it at all. And then this popped up on Twitter this morning, and oh man, look at it! It just awesomely smoked. This is probably one of the best bits in any debate ever.
Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night.
Last night, the Republicans lost again. How do you lose in 2023 when everything is in the shithole? How do you lose? It's because you don't understand the game that's being played. Bottom line, you don't understand. Okay, this is how it works. You're not convincing the people who vote. They're going to vote wherever they vote, right? It's their prejudice plus their pocket. That's always the way, right? No, it's the people that don't vote, right? It's the people you can ballot harvest. There's one person ballot harvesting for the Republicans, just one. And if Trump's out, this guy is out too, right? So they're done. Their only hope is if Trump gets put in jail and he can't run for some reason, and then if Trump gets killed, God forbid, right? Vivek Ramaswamy, right, is the man.
I'm a party of losers at the end of the day. It's a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023.
And they are freaking out. All the establishment newspapers oh, he totally lost. Fuck off. I mean, really, you don't drop truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb and lose. Are you out of your mind?
And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership.
You would have 100 times the viewership.
Asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, this is insane. Lester Holt is the guy, on NBC? I mean, how much of an Uncle Tom do you need to be?
And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years. Was that real, or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Oh, yes.
This is how we
see again. Fuck. And you can see how she's hating every second.
Get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why you?
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely smoked them again. Establishment Republicans today freaking out. He lost. He's just unprofessional. He just made me feel bad. Yeah, he told the truth. So this one was even better.
Hunter Biden got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country.
That's pretty much the case.
The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she
they have a hard-on for Nikki Haley to be the nominee like you wouldn't believe.
becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got two of them on stage tonight.
There's also responding, referring to Ron DeSantis, right, who was utterly useless. But before we get to the chat, there's a couple of fun things that I want to look at. There's this thing. This is so weird. You know when they go next week on Space 1999? Well, hey, there's a whole reel of it.
Hello, I'm Martin Landau. Here are a few scenes from next week's episode of Space 1999.
Hello, I'm Barbara Bay. Here are a few scenes from next week's episode of Space 1999. Hello.
How did she read that like a human being and not one line in Space 1999?
I'm Catherine Shell.
Yes, Catherine, you are the spankable member of the cast. Brought in second season.
Here are a few scenes from next week's episode of Space 1999.
Are you in a space bikini during it, Catherine? We would recommend you are.
Hello, I'm Nick Tate.
And I will be in a space bikini next time.
Here are a few scenes from next week's exciting episode of Space 1999.
Hello, I'm Tony Amholt.
Yeah, I really didn't like this guy when they brought him in. Like, just like, who's he? Why didn't they see him the first year?
Here are a few scenes from next week's exciting episode of Space 1999.
Don't miss the spectacular, all-new Space 1999.
Coming to you soon.
The future is fantastic.
And we hope unforgettable. Don't miss the spectacular, all-new Space 1999. Coming to you soon. The future's fantastic, and we hope unforgettable.
Don't miss the spectacular, all-new Space 1999.
Coming to you soon.
The future is fantastic, and we hope unforgettable.
That's what. Now this next thing, we'll begin the chat. Okay, I am late and I'm bereft as always. I actually remember this sketch when it was first on. The wonderful Kenny Everett. We love a bit of Kenny Everett. This was Kenny Everett in the costume. I think it is. It seems to be him acting. I love the way he jumps to it. You can't be a bit Kenny Everett. Fine. Do I have the share screen? Doink. I had to work hard. Had to work hard to get a bit of TNA in here this week. Nearly didn't happen. But then I remembered. Oh, we got the Ghostbusters trailer. That'll do, darling. Millie, may I say you look fantastic in everything, and even better out of everything. Darren Evans here. Darren, thank you for joining us. Well, the internet hasn't gone out yet. Well, we're doing pretty good. How are we up to? OTS Started is here. How you doing, OTS Started? Paul McGann spin-off film on Disney Plus is happening, then I have no faith in it. Look, okay, this is what the new Doctor Who is going to be like. I think, at least the anniversary stuff. Very traditional Doctor Who with chicks with dicks. I think in the second part they said they're going to address the timeless children and all that stuff. I think somehow they're going to make it kosher. I don't know how, but I think it can be done in a line or two, right? I think somehow they're going to make it kosher. And Russell's going to be saying, I did not write it, and it won't matter anymore. That's really all that needs to happen. It needs to not matter anymore. And get Jodie out of their fucking faces. Every time I say, I look at the Doctor Who hub, there's always Jodie stuff. Just get her. Do you insist on putting a Troughton thing in it every frame? Get Jodie out, just out of it already. Enough. She's a bad memory. OTS started this here. So, Lonnie's how you doing? Rabbi, can you describe the head coverings of the IDF wear, men and women? Not really. Helmets? I don't know. Just kind of helmets is all I know. If you're married, women cover their hair sort of in different ways. My other son got a 48-hour pass tonight, right? Where we go? Yeah, he's actually, this is the second night he's got to spend with his wife. Okay, ever. 1 second. Can you send me a picture of, and there you go. Doink. What I was up to. Rabbi is splendid. Well, Rabbi's always splendid, baby. Sometimes Rabbi is fantastic. At least that's what the ladies say, baby. That's what the ladies say. The Solar Engine is here. Wait, the new issue of the magazine is out already? Yeah, it's a freaking good one. We're going to go over that today. Where we have the Scottish Stavros is there. Hey, dude, I've seen you for ages. How you doing? Oh, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. I hope I haven't been too obscene as yet. Probably I have. One thing, here it is. Oh, there you go. So my wife, it's just okay. Why do I love my dog? When I got my dog, this is a bad segue. When I got my dog did all the doggy stuff built in. My wife is such a Jewish mother. It's freaky how much of a Jewish mother she is, right? She is a super Jewy mother. Here, 1 second, share screen. So yeah, my son is finally he's got a night off from the sleeping in the field, and he's got to see his wife, right? And she's ecstatic. Man, I think it's harder on her, frankly, because he's like focused and doing work all the time. But yeah, so he's got a 24-hour pass. So there you go. So that's the way my daughter-in-law covers her hair, like that, like she's from a Tom and Jerry cartoon, right? Yeah, that sort of vibe. Yeah. Share screen. I'm 3 minutes in. Okay, I'm only 3 minutes into the chat. That's bad, right? I got to move a bit quicker. Where are we up to? Scottish Stavros with friends and pop culture. With pop culture. Oh, friends with pop culture. Wrestle with and friends and wrestle with pop culture. Well, I always wish I was more into wrestling. It's always seemed fun. I like the South Park where they they got into professional wrestling, but it's all about the storyline, right? And how they got everybody really sucked into it. Matthew Pounder's here. How you doing, Matthew Pounder? Thank you for joining. Blast from the Past is here. Just read through the new issue of Dr. Magazine. One of the most depressing experiences I've had in a long time. I'm out of the magazine. It's not for me. I'm really sorry. Some people are really upset with this new Dalek, right? Because it's like a major overhaul. It's 75 minutes long, so it's like under half of its runtime, I think. And full color, new effects, new music. I think it's in still 4:3, right? I don't think it's widescreen, right? I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't make it widescreen. But look, I'm really kind of excited to see what they do with it, see how it comes out. Like, I keep trying to watch the Tales of the TARDIS, the actual Doctor Who episode, but I fall asleep because I always put it on too late. But I'm interested in how they edit it down. I think that's normally quite a good idea. And I think if it works, I'd like to see them do it with Tomb of the Cybermen next. I think that would be really cool. Douglas Adams is awesome. Paul Tothland. Douglas Adams is awesome. I have to tell you, Doug Adams is indeed awesome. Where are we up to? With things with the chat. Right. Bradford Funkhauser. Man, you are. I have not heard that name. Well, there you go. Bradford Funkhauser is in the house. How you doing, Bradford Funkhauser? I hope you bring the funk with you, because sometimes we have a low supply. What can I tell you? The people chatting the loudest about the events in Israel and Gaza should ask themselves one question, says Colin Archer. Exactly what did Hamas plans expect and intend to happen? See, I think they got such an intrinsic lack of respect for life that they didn't expect anything to really happen. Right? I don't think Osama bin Laden expected to be hounded for the rest of his life, then killed by who was it? What's the name of the game? The Star Lord. I can't remember. Chris Pratt. The greatest of the Chris's, in my opinion. I mean, it talks about 8 months ago. I mean, we must be talking about Douglas Murray. And he's good, and his ideas are good, and well as funny and bright. Yes. See the back, and this is a short read of support. Well, there you go. Righteous Cowboys from Montana. Oh, I actually heard about that. Come and visit the Holy Land. Yes, I did hear about that. Look, I mean, again, this issue has been the most polarizing thing I've ever seen. It's broken. It completely broke the partisan lines that we live in, which I think is a good thing, right? But it shattered it, right? It absolutely shattered it, which I find very interesting, right? I do find it interesting. Lotus Caesars, no. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. Hey there, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. Thank you for joining us. Brisbane's are a joke right now. They're less than it. It's embarrassing, right? Again, it's like it's a mixture of cowardice, a strong Muslim presence, and a bit of Jew hatred, all mixed together. Making the cocktails. Let's just take down the. Oh yeah, Sadiq Khan. Fuck him. Oh, I mean, not literally. I wouldn't like to have sex with Sadiq Khan, even if I was a top. Certainly not a bottom. God, could you imagine? Imagine how emancipating that being the bottom to Sadiq Khan. Fuck me. Oh, that would not be good. There's videos of police making stop Raven back when asked why. It says we're outnumbered. Yeah, there's more of us than there, more of them than us. I showed that last time. That's brought the Museum of Tolerance. I know. Some things are too great. Leonardo Algarin, how you doing? Drives me crazy the disconnect of the educational systems for a young generation, for Americans to not logically understand Iran and Hamas celebrate chants and death to Americans. They're just morons. I think Vivek Ramaswamy spoke about it as well. It says these kids are just morons, being like mindlessly mouthing what they're told to mouth and think they're being liberals for it. Matthew Brown says savages. I thought for 1 minute you're talking about these savages, the Stephen Taylor story, but no. Is that no, not them at all. Now they're going to kill a cat. What's up with these people? Like, do you understand that you put the Israel flag on the cat? It's not an Israeli cat. What is up with you weirdos? No, put the Israeli flag on cat. And now it is cat. It reminds me of Matthew Barry narrating the Ray Home Industries commercial and the IT crowd. I got to see that. That sounds funny. Very excitingly, there is a Doctor Who story I wrote for season 14, which will be premiering on this channel. Very exciting on the 23rd of November. Peter Capaldi reads a 12th Doctor story. What's it called again? Hang on, let me find out the name of it. The Hunt for the Worshipful and Ancient Law of Gallifrey, right? It's a story in 3 parts. The first part is, actually, the first part is the shortest. It's a quick, it's a setup where you have the 12th Doctor, Romana and K9 raiding an Osiris pyramid for a lost Gallifreyan artifact. And using an army of quarks to do so against the Osiris mummies. So that's fun. Then you got like an Ocean 11 second act. And then you got a third act. Not sure what to call it. But that's the is premiering on 23rd of November. And I've just started working. I realized the last time I put a episode of Millennial Rights out. Where is it? So no, it's not that one. There you go, Millennial Rights. Last time I put an episode of Millennial Rights was October 7th, right? And then like the whole world changed, and I didn't really get any more done. That's coming back, right? That's coming back. I've started work on that again. So that'll be good. I think Hamas knew what would happen. They were working straight from Mao's book about provoking a reaction. Yeah, but they didn't expect their reaction would be completely annihilated, and it looks like they've collapsed, right? Or they're in the midst of collapsing, right? I mean, they've lost major territory almost instantly, and we've had very minor casualties. So, look, I just think that's good. Well, you know what? Where's that thing we got? I got to find it. It's who wrote? Oh, now I got to remember that. Oh man, I got all around their houses. What? Gareth Roberts, right? Let's find Gareth Roberts because he really spoke very well on Twitch chats recently. Roberts, and that kind of like ties us into the whole Doctor Who world. Firstly, Gareth May. Oh, I get. Can Gareth Roberts be shown around on Doctor Who? Because he just, this guy matches my sensibilities. Look at that header. There you go. Doink. The wrong side of history, aka the middle class opinion. But yes, good, strong Israeli flag up there. But where's the? He wrote this great article. Oh man, but his Twitter's too bloody busy. You have to give me a minute. I have to go through too much stuff. 14th century. I guess I could just share it. What's the difference? Douglas Murray, response to Matthew Paris. According to Matthew, it was good. In his column, Matthew Paris, The Danger of the Righteous Anger on 4th of November, says, now is the time to dial down the anger. I have no idea what Matthew cares for, but I remember a touching piece by him some years ago about his pet llamas. Imagine Matthew's llamas were attacked by the most brutal regime. Yeah, you're making a good point. If only they hadn't cut out their books to make the sign, they might have actually had a clue what was going on. Will I be able to find it? I was gonna. Oh man, that's the clip I should have used. 57 seconds. That would have saved us some bloody time. This is just so freaking disturbing. They had AP, CNN, and New York Times and Reuters had journalists embedded with Hamas terrorists as they're kidnapping this old lady. Please tell me it's not true, right? Please tell me it's not true. But the triumph of the faggot fancies of old England. Okay, that's one of the greatest headlines of all time. Look, this has been Matthew Roberts, Gareth Roberts' Twitter feed. Oh man, I'm only a day back right now. This was crazy. This guy spewed so much like Jew-hating rhetoric, man. Friend, and they keep having the guy who was the chief advisor, Jeremy Corbyn, on these talk shows. I'm like, was it New Canary mission profile? Elisa Ward, who is the VP of Student and Mentally for Diversity Chief Officer at Fordham New York College, an assistant coach there, ripped down posters of Israeli kidnapped by Hamas terrorists saying, "Oh, it's all propaganda." Like, it was only a month ago, right? It was literally only a month ago. I'm never going to find this. This guy's got too big a he tweets too much, right? Tweets too much. I might have even gone past it. Gloriously barking mad. Doctor Who 60th greatest story according to Telegraph. I might have to look at that. Gary Lineker, shut up, arsehole. Was it response to Gary Lineker? No. Fire. Yeah, just stop. You people are just such intense arseholes. It's beyond belief, right? It's beyond belief what intense arseholes you are. Mark the Vicar is here doing Mark the Vicar. And Rob McCord is there. McCord, there can be only one. Okay, it's normally McLeod, but we'll strip something for you. Let's have a look. We'll go to Pocket Mags. Let's have a look at Doctor Who magazine, which somebody already said they hated. They literally said we've absolutely hated it. Right? Start from the start. Okay, so fine. Look, I'm glad it's going to be on soon, so we can actually see what these paint expressions are about. But okay. So this is the new editor. Doesn't look like a spring chicken. I don't know what you know about. I don't know what about you, but my house, it's formal wear only for a Doctor Who watch party. So I've dusted off my tux. And practically paradiddle or two accompany. What the hell? Okay. Is this guy one of the not we? I can't tell. Yeah, okay. I'm still looking forward to this. Let's have a look. Welcome to the Whoniverse. The Whoniverse is out. These posters were fantastic. We kind of discussed the Target novelization covers. I like the classic logo, the way they're using it, but I don't like this Peter Angelis mock style. I think they need to work out their own look, right? Which they haven't got yet. I think it'd be much better if they work out their own look. But oh my god, the Evil of the Daleks one, I am about halfway through. Freaking awesome, right? Freaking awesome. This is kiss of death. These two. Right, this looks really bad news because they are horribly. Their work has been horrible thus far. So maybe Russell can whip them into shape. Who knows? And there's another new producer. Okay. 4 more cast members. I don't really care. Like, these people are in it. Fine, I'll see you when you're in it. Okay. What's this? Treasure from the archives. Ooh. A huge online archive of BBC Doctor Who material has been made available by Doctor Who material made available by BBC. Currently archived at bbc.co.uk, Doctor Who features curated journeys through the archives and bring the show's extensive history life, which include interviews. Let's have a look. Does it link to it? Oh, look at that! It actually linked to it. Fine. So Russell 6 Picks. What's this? Oral history interviews. Letter from Joanna Spicer. Letter from Beryl Virtue. Okay, from 65. The day Doctor Who became the Doctor's Lab. Trailer of 2009. Okay, fine. This looks quite fun. I'm actually somewhat intrigued by this. This looks quite fun. But yeah, look, I mean, this is so kind of huge now. I think about it, but there's so much going on. There's so much going on. It just falls through the cracks. But that sounds fascinating. The 2 showrunners and the show ruiner. Okay, stop trying to legitimize. I mean, I get. This is why I think they're going to retcon away, even though he specifically said, "No, I'm not going to unwrite what my good friend Chris wrote." I think he kind of. I think unwrite's the wrong word. I think he's going to do a line or two of dialogue that makes it not matter anymore. I don't know how he would do that. Like, but I think there's going to be a reset, like a really simple, easy reset. One can only hope. One can only hope. Oh, this is a nice bit of artwork. Right, this is actually a really nice little bit of design. I like that. Good for them. Good for them. YouTube. Let's see what they got here. More Chris fucking Chibnall. Leave me alone. First Doctor Who short story from a 1990 issue brought to life in this charming fan-made audio. Well, you know, you can get this done really easy now with AI. The Dalek 63-68 team examines the crazy cataloguing of the BBC's colossal army of Daleks from 2005 to 12. Not really interested, but okay. Has a scene from 1966 10 Planet episodes have been reconstructed incorrectly? Examine the evidence. Okay. The compilated Dudley Simpson music transcribed and performed by a brilliant Jess Stewart. Well, okay. Oh, actually, honestly, I always found Dudley Simpson's music not that inspiring. Be honest. Like, it just seems like this is this guy who's got a job, and he just I don't know. It's like I struggle to think of great Dudley Simpson music and go, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the best ever. 1 second. 1 sec. Let's go to YouTube. Dudley Simpson Doctor Who music. Let's see if we can pull it. Play all. Well, this one's probably it's a pattern. Yeah, we'll grab from over here. Where is it? Some makers, you think? Okay. No, again, nothing's really jumping out. Ugh. Now I can't find the link to it. You know, again, but the point is, I've never found it that, you know, that compelling. Here. Oh, here. Copy. Here we go. Download. Doink. Doink. No. Okay. We can't play much because we will get copyright struck to oblivion. Yeah, look, he's not Murray Gold, mate. I know. Look, if you it seems like they just needed music there, and he's the bloke who did it. It could have been that. It could have been Juliet Bravo, right? Letter on Sharon, 2-pager. We will read that today, right? 2-pager. Production diary, 1 page. Thank God, boring as hell. It's always boring, right? It's always dull. Time space visualizer. That's what we got. Awards. Gayest gay ever. Rusty Davis being gay. Rusty Davis won the Writers Award for Nolly at their BAFTA Shimmery Awards. That was okay. I didn't mind that. Peter Purvis plays Charles Dickens opposite Colin Baker's Ebenezer Scrooge. That sounds interesting. Rusty Evan looks back at the 26th adaptation of Midsummer Night's Dream with I only very vaguely remember that. That must have got lost in the election, right, of that year. Jenna Coleman to lead the cast of BBC's 4-part thriller, The Jetty. The detective thriller will follow Detective Ember Manning as she investigates a fire which tore through a home, a holiday home in Lancashire. Yeah, sounds like okay, fine. Arthur Darvill, Juliet Stevens, Toby Jones are amongst the cast of Ruth. Okay, what's it even about? I don't know. After filming a wrap for Criminal Record for Apple on TV Plus, Buddy plays a police chief inspector Daniel Hegarty. The 8-part series promises to touch upon issues of race, institutional failure, and God, I'm bored already. Yeah, what? Jesus, can't we just have a murder mystery? This month in 21st November 63. This sounds interesting. That's wow, it's an article I would actually read. So here we go. You got the Star Beast previews, and you have a boy wearing a dress, a skirt. Not a boy, obviously, a woman with a penis wearing a skirt. And again, like it's like saying, "Oh, I don't notice any aliens on this. This is all just normal." Okay, but yeah, this is something we will be looking at. Star Beast, right? The Star Beast. Interestingly, it stars David Tennant, Catherine Tate, redacted. The TARDIS takes the Doctor and Donna on a journey to a faraway and mysterious place and abandons them in the middle of hostile action. Quote unquote. There's only one hope: a mechanism on board the TARDIS called the HADS, Hostile Action Displacement System. If the TARDIS is in danger, it goes away. Goes where? Anywhere, but only comes back when the danger is gone. I turned it off years ago. I mean, I never land anywhere. Once spent 3 years in orbit, and I thought, oh, turn the bloody HADS off. But if the TARDIS is rebuilding itself, maybe it's clicked back on. You mean we land in the middle of hostile action? Yeah. There's always something bad. Run away, fine. So this is the one cloaked in the most mystery, Wild Blue Yonder, and this is the one where apparently he talks about the Timeless Child. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with that, right? So this is what I'm really intrigued to see. I'm actually kind of excited about this. I need to see a trailer, right? Unfortunately, I need to see a trailer. And I'm intrigued about the cut as well. And also the colorization looks very, it doesn't look modern. Looks very nice. Like, this doesn't look good to me. Like, the purples there just don't, I don't know. Look, you've got to see it in action, in motion. And it's a very pink shirt she's wearing. I don't know. Again, like I can't poo-poo it without seeing it. Hopefully this will be a gateway to all the 60s Doctor Who, which is some of the best telly ever made. Benjamin Cook. Yeah, I know he's a douchebag, okay? And a lot of people don't like him. I wouldn't restrict myself from seeing something I want to see, enjoying myself in a way I want to enjoy because he's a douchebag. Like, yeah, I know he works in it. And look, a lot of people say this is blasphemy, right? This recut is blasphemy. I got to see it, right? I'm kind of excited to see it. Neil Patrick Harris is the toy maker. Yeah, look, this is I'm actually excited about, right? I think he's perfect casting for this. At least he has the potential to be. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the interesting thing, right? We'll look at this in more detail another time. They finally got down their 60th anniversary poll, and because they did it in such a fakakta stupid way, they it's hard to work. It's just so Jodie could get a look in, right? They didn't just do do all of them in order. They said, oh, the best of this Doctor, the best of that Doctor. Finally, we get to see what everybody thinks is the best stories. Heaven Sent is number one. I strongly disagree, right? Strongly disagree. Well Enough in Time, Doctor Falls, I think is very good. I don't think it's number two. Gentle Daleks is above both of them. Case of Aranzani, again, they're the Doctor. On a par with World Enough in Time and Doctor Falls. I mean, I really did love that. Blink is excellent. Human Nature and Family Blood, that deserves to be in the top 10. I agree with you. City of Death deserves to be in the top 10, as does Remembrance of the Daleks, right? It's interesting, though, all right? It is interesting because it's like, it's kind of like rather than anybody's really favorite story, they just went for the aggregate default, right? But yeah, we will be looking at this in more detail. Right, there's a lot in this week's issue this month's issue that I'm going to read, which is very rare. I know this is written by Ben Cook. He's a good writer. Again, I wouldn't not read a Paul Cornell Doctor Who thing because I think Paul Cornell's a douchebag. Look, I ain't like everybody's got weird ideas about everybody be a douchebag. It's fine. But yeah, this is a location reporting filming report. Well, and look, the more I'm looking at Yasmin Finney, the less feminine Yasmin Finney looks somehow. Because, like, I don't know, I just look at that big Adam's apple. What do you want at me? This sounds really interesting, right? It's an audio recording, so they don't have to. Are they in costume? Colin Baker as Ebenezer Scrooge and Peter Bowes as Charles Dickens. Sounds really interesting. I would love to go to that. Right, that does sound like a lot of fun. Tate. So now Benjamin Cook talks to Catherine Tate about coming back to Doctor Who. I mean, like, all of these things are big articles that I'm going to cover. Right? I mean, this is a major interview. Wow. And then a taster before the feast. So in-depth coverage of Tales of the TARDIS. Yeah, it used to be this thing would be like such union. Okay. How does Nicola Bryant's tits still look so good? I mean, she's in her 70s. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, hey. Oh. Get me a cold shower. I'm like, why? Why am I permanently seeing vestiges of fucking Jodie? Leave me alone. So this is my Simon Gurrier. I love this cover of the book by David Whittaker. It's written by Simon Gurrier. I bet this is good. So he wrote a book about Simon, but it like matches the first Daleks novelization. They got this big Doctor Who magazine special for £20. That seems a bit much to me. If you want to check out early, I forgot Underwater Menace is coming out this week. I totally forgot about that. That's huge. If you want to check out early Doctor Who comics, early Tom Baker Doctor Who comics, this is wonderful. This is totally worth the £30. It'll be really good. I don't think I'm buying Liberation of the Daleks. It depends how much I like the new Doctor Who. 60 update in 60 years. Oh yeah, it's Jodie's well-worn sex toy looking sonic screwdriver. I mean, it does look like she masturbates with it. Why would they do that? This is awesome, right? I love this. Is it still on YouTube? The college students made their recreated Mission the Unknown. I love this idea. More of this, the better. I would again, when I talk about it, I'd love them to do this with Marco Polo with like Stephen Noonan. That'd be fantastic. Oh, go away. Okay, I like this about the Jodie era. Swarm's jacket. I think Swarm was a great villain. I think Swarm was a really, really great villain, right? So, and I don't say that about much about the Jodie years, but. And then the Rasputin dance. Okay, again, I think that's a good idea. So I haven't read this the last few episodes. I guess I'll read it before the weekend, and then I'll do a full recap of the entire story. Something about Daleks in virtual reality, and then I don't know. Now they're fighting real Daleks, and finally the sonic screwdriver goes down. Right, sonic screwdriver goes down. But at the end of the story, they're still in the Whittaker TARDIS, right? It's the weirdest thing. Is explaining where the TARDIS went? Oh no, that's what oh no, Jules Rimet's melted over everything. I have no idea. Hope they didn't turn it. Maybe that's why they have to regenerate the control room. I don't know. I do know this is freaking awesome. Evil of the Dalek. I'm so loving this. So what the great conceit about this is a novelization of the repeat of Evil of the Daleks, right? So in the 60s, they when after Wheel in Space, they had a bit of a season break, and they showed a rerun of Evil of the Daleks, but beforehand, you had Patrick Down say, "Are you sure you will want to join us?" Well, it could be very dangerous, you see. And he puts on this headset, and they start playing Evil of the Daleks on the screen of the TARDIS. And so in between each episode, it cuts back to that, right, of them in the TARDIS watching it in Zoe. It's such a nice conceit, right? It really is. So when is this coming out, Underwater Menace? Yeah, let's have a look. Amazon.co.uk. The should we do Doctor Who: The Underwater Menace? Doctor Who: The Underwater Menace. Blank. It's coming out very soon, isn't it? Pre-order. Oh, November 13th. 4 days. Although I have to tell you, the animation method. I'm intrigued to see it because, like, I don't know which crew this is. The one that the people who did Evil of Daleks was very good, right? So Heaven Sent, the best story of all time. It's just not rewatchable. That's really the problem with it. And yeah, look, Capaldi can totally do the an hour monologue, right? His voice is hypnotic, but it doesn't really work, I'm afraid. So Gallifrey War Room. Did I miss it? Did anyone have a page saying reviews? Gallifrey War Room is a series that I'm not listening to. I don't like the writers on it, and frankly, a lot of the stuff's been shockingly bad. I'm looking at you, the Eighth Doctor Chronicles, the Eighth Doctor Adventures, Audacity, which of course they're going to give a glowing review to because it features an audacious, wonderful woman. I've got it so bad. This is freaking awesome. Actually, I really should do a review of. Have I done Enlightenment yet? I think I've watched it. I'm not sure I've done a review of it yet. Yes, they are delightful and behind the sofa. That is correct. Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker. They are a really interesting combination. And the extras on this are, fuck off, redacted. Like, I'm sorry. Every time you thrust people in my face who are women with penises, I just go, that looks fucking weird. That doesn't. What's wrong with those women? Oh, they have penises. And like, maybe just back off from it a little bit, right? No, just in your face all the freaking time, in your face, relentlessly. Yeah, and I'm not bothering with this latest Master box set. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god, the third and fourth Doctor come together for. Oh yeah, this is a book on tape. I don't know. I just find them too good. So Jay Gritters. That's one of the things that really annoyed me about Audacity, her being the new companion of the Eighth Doctor. She's a great actress with a fabulous range, and like she knows what she's doing. And they waste her on drivel, on man-hating drivel. And like, I am sorry, Lisa McMullen, who invented this character and wrote the first story for her, that she's felt belittled by men before. Get over it, darling. For fuck's sake. Oh. 10th Doctor moments. Okay. He burned up a song to take about. I will watch that as well. I will read that as well. Maybe we'll do the best of the 10th Doctor at some point. And then Christmas special coming out December 7th. Well, they want to have they still want to have the third special out by then, which is when I think we find out what the whole mystery is. What's it? Sufficient data, crunching the numbers, and big ideas. Simon Gurrier infographic. Oh god! What again? Why am I constantly seeing the Whittaker fucking era pushed in my fucking face all the fucking time? Found as a child, like why? I was just fuck off with it. again, it taints all of Doctor Who. Go away. That's a weird thing to put there. Okay, well, that was the cover from last week. I mean, it looks really good, but it's still the cover from last week, and I think that's a good adaptation. This is like, are they out their mind? Doctor Who, the Art of the New Adventures. I mean, £40 bloody for that? No, that's not happening. Love these posters though, even though they don't come out right on this. But are they all by Lee Binding? Okay, because these are the top 10 stories. Blink, and again, it's a shame they don't come out that way. So I know. Look, this looks like a good bloody issue of Doctor Who magazine to me. I'm sorry. I don't think there's much you could legitimately complain about, right? I really don't. Okay. Of the how many pages am I going to read in this? Right. I might actually read the letter from the new editor, because he looks. I don't know. I'm not judging a book by the cover. So 1, 2, 3. Right. I'm interested in the from the archives thing. That looks interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 20. This is basically the whole magazine. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, 30. I mean, it's just. Yeah, this is a good issue. What do you want out of me? In terms of, yeah, I will read this. I think this is a good issue, right? I absolutely do. So for me, it's a recommend, right? But I'm optimistic and excited about the new era. Right, I got to see Shooty Gatwa in action before I can say yay or nay. I'm probably got to see him in for more than his first story. Always annoying Christmas Invasion. You really didn't get to see much of Tennant until like the last 10 minutes. But I did like seeing the interior of the TARDIS. I thought that was very cool. Right, let's go over here. Letter from the showrunner. What you got to tell us, Russell? I mean, again, we got a double pager. Okay. On the eve of Doctor Who's wonderful evolution hitting our screens, Rusty Davis talks about change. Change, my dear. It's not a moment too soon. Come here, gather round. Come on, all of us. Come on. Yes, you too. Let's huddle. Okay, I'm huddling. Yes, I know this issue of Doctor Who magazine is designed to welcome in new viewers. Is it really? I would have thought the next issue. Good. Pull up a chair. Hello. But this time, more than ever, let us gather. The old guard, whether you've been here since the Cave of Skulls or Rose Tyler, or going down to the basement with the lottery, Rose Tyler going down the basement with the lottery money, or Peter Capaldi punching a diamond ball for all eternity. We've seen a lot. And now, here it comes again. Change. We've seen it a lot. Change, my dear. Yeah, listen. If you can change your way from the Whittaker Chibnall era, yeah, we're on board. And will you stop legitimizing it desperately? Which makes me think he's not going to unwrite it, but somehow he's going to make it kosher. Don't know how. Let's sit and consider, faithful viewers. I usually write these letters at home, but today I'm writing in my office in Badworth. On my desk, a script for 2025 containing the words radiation, moth, and skiffle. Could that mean we're seeing the Daleks? Down the corridor, rehearsals with Shooty and special guest for our 13th episode. Below me, well, which one's going to be the 13th episode? Like, is Shooty's first regular episode going to be the 4th one? Right, 5th one, I should say, because you got these 4 specials, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the earliest 13th episode will be season 15, episode 1, okay, or whatever, season 2, episode 1, whatever they're calling it. Look at Doctor. Wait, 13th episode. We're building a hotel and a chamber and a hospital. You want to go to Gaza, mate? They want all of those things there. And a chamber at a hospital. But up here, I'll close the door. Let us pause. Okay. He's building that in his head. Is that what he's saying? I think. I don't know. Look at Doctor Who. This show is nuts. It goes through the most seismic tectonic plate shifting changes while we cling on for dear life. When I lived in Los Angeles, we've been told to keep a wheelie bin stacked full of tin food in case of earthquakes. So now just keep a stack full of food in case of the destruction of society, which could happen at any moment. Plate shifting while we cling to dear life. When I fight food for earthquake. Now, dear reader, might be time to buy placards and pilchards and beans. But this year could be different because it has an added component. More than ever before, we have the raging voices online. We have the culture wars. Yeah, people on the left wing only started to acknowledge the culture wars are happening when they started completely losing them, right? I wonder what it would have been like in times gone past. I don't know. It's interesting because how much of our division in society is caused by social media algorithms making us crazy and making us want to fight and making us tribal, right? The first great seismic shift in Doctor Who happened in 1966 when the lead character slumped to the floor, and what? He did what? He changed with a different actor for good. Can you imagine that happening unannounced now in 1970? Well, they tried to do that with Rose, didn't they? With Christopher Eccleston. In 1968, there seemed to be comparatively little record reaction. We had Toya Wilcox say she was really miffed, right? And then she found the Cybermen sexy because they wore all that rubber. Did we question less? Did we just watch? Well, yes. I've got a clear memory of Seismic Shift 2 in 1970, the move to colour before my time, mate. Now, that didn't mean much. We didn't buy colour TVs overnight. We were still watching in black and white. And, Planet of the Daleks. But crucially, the 1970, half the number of episodes. Axe, brutal. But again, we really didn't have any terminology for the TV processor. I didn't see words like season back then. I just said, it's on less than it used to be. Well, again, I was brought up in the 80s. Honestly, it had what? How many satellites? 6, 12. Like it was on for like 24, 26 episodes a year. That's kind of a fair whack. Honestly, but again, we accepted the changes with a shrug. Things happen, and they're simply kept on watching. We might complain about it online, and today's online world, but we weren't any wiser. Well, it's a more innocent world. I think better for it. The biggest change in Shift 2 was the fact that the Doctor was trapped on Earth, and in some episodes he drove through London in a silver hovercraft. Oh, that was fantastic. Which can fly. I mean, that was all the Pertwee era, wasn't it? Oh my God, this program can change, but in those cheesecloth-flared, horribly bopping 1970s, we didn't need the internet to seethe and grumble. I had my neighbor Siri. Still friends now. It's not as good as it used to be. He would mutter. Well, it used to be when I was young, before the internet became a thing. People would talk. You go to Forbidden Planet. You go to comic book stores, comic marts, Fitzroy Tavern. That's where people are not happy with that now. Well, I used to go there. And bear in mind, we had no archives, no books, no history. Of Doctor Who. Yeah, that only really started around like the 20th anniversary. Peter Hanning, 20 glorious years, right? Absolutely none whatsoever. Seriously, imagine it. I don't have to. I was there. No references other than memories. So Siri could tell tales of the faraway Zarbi that were ancient myths, in his opinion. The received wisdom of our Swansea Street. Through those secretly I rebelled, loving every second of Joe and the Brigadier and the monsters in the nuclear power station. Seismic Shift 3 is more of a shift in my own life. Moving from the comprehensive school just as John Pertwee became Tom Baker. those events feel proudly entwined. Proudly entwined. That I think is when I became a fan. 11 years old. I had made the decision to keep watching while other boys turned to girls and football and cider. Yeah, that was kind of me too. I spent the next 10 years thinking that those boys had more fun than me, probably, until realizing the fun I was having was mine, and it was different, and it was wonderful. And look, we all just love Doctor Who. That's it. Wait. No. Don't eat the pilchards now. Stop. Si, where was I? The seismics lurched onwards. Peter Davison's episode moved to weeknights. That was weird. It was nothing to those of us who are watching on BBC Worlds, who often had episodes shifted from Sundays to Sundays Monday. Really? I didn't know that. So the Welsh language program could have a Saturday night slot. Colin Baker's episode came 45 minutes long and a fine innovation. And then we had the hiatus, and fans were waking up, mobilizing campaigns. Well, this is when the interwebs were starting, right? I remember. The interwebs really started getting going with like news groups. Really, that was around the 90s. That's when the New Adventures had its domain, and it had Gallifrey Base as well, or Outpost Gallery as it was called there before it became like a political nightmare. Mobile and campaigns posted a charity thing. Yes, a charity thing, except the sales were so poor, not a penny went to charity. Bless them, but it was an awful song, right? A doctor industry. It was awful. But the shifts went on. I mean, also just a weird collection of people. But the shifts went on, including the biggest shift of all, cancellation in '89. And then Standby, Slicing Extraordinaire. Doctor Who returned in '96 as a movie set in America. And I really loved it. I have to tell you, I love the '96 movie. Goodness me, there's 5 of me now. We said the Doctor's mother was human, but he's only half Gallifreyan. Gosh. We talk about that. We think about that a lot. We absorb the shocks, and as fans, we cope and strategize. We satirize, and we write our own personal canon. This must be talking something about the Timeless Children, about how he's going to deal with it. This has to be, yeah. I really think he's gonna make it kosher. Don't know how. Where are we up to? And some things exist in perpetual state of mystery. In 1963, the Doctor has a granddaughter called Susan. Okay. In 1983, the 5th Doctor meets Susan and says hello, and doesn't even hug her or say how are you. Why? And then in '96, the Master is amazed to discover the Doctor's mother is human. What the Master's old friend, his Academy pal, he didn't know. And what do the viewers do? We go on. We simply go on. We absorb what we love. Again, this is talking about dealing with bad canon. And we look forward to the next episode. He's saying move on. He's saying, look, we just got to move on from the Timeless Child, like we did from the Half Human. But I think the Half Human thing is, yeah, that's one thing. Again, let's see how he deals with it. But I think the Half Human thing is to retcon. It's easier to retcon. It's one line. Maybe he will. I always thought he was half human in that regeneration, right? He was like, oh, the Doctor is half human. Like that would make sense, I guess. Yeah, we will think so. Yeah, you probably know the latest seismic shift. The return in 2005. Stephen Moffat's astonishing, brilliant, glittering Doctors from 2010 onwards. The Master becoming Missy. I think that was great. And the slinky seismic shift of the 8th Doctor, who disappeared off screen in '96, finally got to regenerate in 2013, but only on the red button. And then Jodie Whittaker fell through the roof of a Sheffield-bound train, and the impact was so great it destroyed the show. Bumped the entire show onto Sunday nights, and then she stood up in the records and smiled so bright. Hey, I'm real bright, me. It changed the Time Lord and television drama, and whole bloody culture for better, for good and for better. How? How is it for good and for better? For good and for better. Nah, but how? Like, really, Russell, you make me nervous, mate. It's really the most fascinating show because it changes, and yet it stays the same. Doctor Who's all about change, say the fans. No, I don't. It changes intrinsic to it, but it's not all about change, right? It's very different. Change is built into the DNA of Doctor Who, but it's about personal revolution, I would say, right? Individual, it's like morality, individual freedom, thinking for yourself. That's really the most fascinating to me. Change it stays Doctor Who, all has changed. Doctor Who is all about change, but I sit here planning the next story, which is about a blue box lands and the Doctor steps out. Look. And falls an invasion of Earth, thinking to himself, well, is it? But I know what you mean. I feel that the show changes the feel of the show changes the essence. Joe and the Doctor and the Silver Car are in a different world, a different style, and a different genre to Clara facing the Raven on Trap Street. Well, that's true, but it all feels like one cohesive whole to me. And now in 2023, that high wire tension of approaching change is in the air, and the Doctor mysteriously has a face he's had before, and by the time December rolls around, we'll have yet another new face in a show that's now drops worldwide on a vast streaming platform. Well, again, we're looking forward to the Disney Plus proper launch. New and old at the same time. It still stays in its cradle Saturday night. The good night home of the it's Saturday night home of the good old BBC. Listen, it was on Sunday nights now. It's on Saturday nights. But as I said, voices are loud this year, shouting with rage and horror, sometimes circle around Doctor Who. It's often that's not about Doctor Who herself. It's not about expressing anger and fear about life, about love, about self. This is toxic fandom, right? They scream and scream and scream because this is a group of people who are hanging on by their fingernails, right? It's like the world's collapsing. But yeah, it's not about Doctor Who. It's about expressing anger and fear about life, about love, about self. That is toxic fandom, 100%. And I get that. These old discussions are growing up. The old days we sit in our bedroom and work out the world all on our own. We will sing along to Top of the Pops to express our lovely, lonely hearts. Now we type it out, and there's always going to be it's always going to be clumsy because people expressing themselves isn't easy. Even birthday cards are hard work. So trying to say that, say what you think about life and love and sex and telly in the form of words typed on a page, read by strangers. Oh, nightmare. No wonder it goes wrong. But now, I think this is the only one where we meet the changes to come with joy. Well, we did, right? We did until Jodie. Like honestly, we were all very burnt by Jodie, and Chibnall. Like that's the problem, right? We were all very, very, very burnt by that. Like we don't live in such an optimistic time that we used to, right? We don't live in such an innocent time as we used to. We've had Doctor Who literally weaponized against us, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to be called Nazis by these like weird evil children, right? None of that had been fun. So I don't know. Like it's not the same world as it used to be. Right, I hope you can make it so like it's Doctor Who again, right? So it's Doctor Who again that doesn't hate us and isn't broken because it is broken right now. That's for the bottom line. Doctor Who is broken, right? And it was broken and it was hateful. I hope it can reverse both, right? Change has got an answer, but will the change be for the better? That's the question we're all asking. I'm not asking for good reviews. I got myself for that. But I think the episodes are fabulous. But if you don't like something, don't exhaust yourself. Just smile and be glad that some people are happy and wait for the next seismic shift to come. So I don't know. Do you think that he's going to not unwrite the Timeless Children, but somehow make it kosher? Like, oh, there's plenty of universes that happened in. Maybe we jump to time track or whatever. It already happened, but, you know, the old continuity is back. Like, yes, it was on Sundays. Now it's on Saturdays. I hope so, right? I hope so. Because the program has trained us well. We have embraced flying cars and red buttons and the Watcher and the Garm. Well, the Garm is the hardest out of all of those. The Garm really mars a fantastic story, right? I don't think I have reviewed Enlightenment. I really got to get to that. Garm really does mar a fantastic story. Maybe granddaughter is Gallifreyan word for friend. No, I don't think so. Which means we can delight in anything. Right. And right now the TARDIS is heading to Skaro, and a wounded spaceship is heading for London. And Sean is taking an extra shift in his taxi because he's short of money, and Sylvia's delivering a curry, and Donna Noble's daughter with a penis needs to go shopping for eyes. And as these things converge, hold on tight, clutch the tin of beans, because the next earthquake is rumbling away on the horizon. Here we go again. Again, that wonderful use of the Brigadier's line. I don't know. Like, his optimism is very infectious, right? I find it genuinely infectious. I just hope it works, right? There's a lot I don't understand how it can possibly work, right? I really don't. But like, I hope it works, right? I do hope it works. What else we got? Fine. You know what? I think I'm going to wrap up a little bit earlier than I normally do. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I want to go and pee. And like, by the time I put something on for you to watch and then I'll come back, I'm basically done, right? I'm basically done. Do you think the Palestinian people have a right to the land there? Yeah, listen. Good question there. I think the Palestinian people have a right to live in freedom and dignity, right? Part of living in freedom and dignity means you've got to be able to coexist with Jews, right? Because we live here, right? It's the bottom line here. It's the entirety of the Israel-Palestine conflict has been because the Arabs couldn't stand Jews living here, and now they rejected we had the two-state solution in 1948. They rejected it, went to war with us, wanted to kill us. Then they've wanted to kill us ever since. If they can just give up on it, right? If they can just give up on wanting to kill us, we can live in peace. I mean, look, we literally pray to the same God, right? We literally share, an ancestor in Abraham. I personally couldn't care. I actually would like it, frankly, if there was a mosque next to my synagogue, right? And I lived next to Muslims and Jews. I would like that. I'm a more multicultural guy. Practically speaking, what I would love to see happen is once we cleaned out Hamas from Gaza, which we're going to do, right? You're welcome, right? And then I would like to, maybe the Arab nations can come together and they can rebuild Gaza into this beautiful place, right? At the same time, pump the message through all the media. If we just live in peace with each other, we can live in paradise, right? You don't need to have walls. You don't need to have restrictions. Don't you? All you got to do is say you don't want it. Like, give up on killing Jews, right? Live in peace with us, and we're golden, right? So I just to say, look, people were born here. People are born here. Why not? Why can't they live here, right? People of Haifa, but mostly Arabs. Why can't they live in peace? But I do think they have a right. Of course they do. They have a right to life. They don't just have a right, right? They have a right to freedom and dignity. And I think that right has been stolen from them by like hateful groups, right? Hateful groups or that would like to see see Israel becoming a third world caliphate. But Chowdhury, if you ever want to come on the channel with me and talk it out, you're more than welcome. Anybody you know wants to come and talk it out, you are more than welcome, right? But like, if you think this is where I'm going to wrap up. The oldest form of anti-Semitism, the most prevalent form, is something called blood libels, where you basically have somebody who says those Jews do something terrible. Those Jews kidnap and murder babies so they can make their unleavened breads for Passover, right? But essentially, it's creating a mob, riling them up into a righteous frenzy, so they can then come and give the Jews good kicking, murder a few of them, and drive them out of town. That's why when we see these tens of thousands walking through central London, baying for blood, and they are, right? They are. Jews intrinsically get very scared because we know what happens next, right? These are fascist rallies. These demonstrations. They're fascist rallies based on the absolute lie that Jews are evil and they want to oppress and abuse the Palestinians, right? Piers Morgan, who I complimented for his journalism, but one of the things I deeply disagree with, he says expansion, settlement expansion is a terrible thing. Why? Why is me building a loft conversion in any way a impediment to peace? Why is my son getting married and having children and having a house? Why is that an impediment to peace? 20% of Israel is Arab, and they have the same rights. Christians, Jews, Muslims, they all have the same freaking rights, and they live in peace and they live in freedom, right? If this needs to be a Palestinian state for that, why can't I do the same thing? Right? It's all about Jew hatred, right? Give up on this absolute need to destroy Jews. If you do that, and I think we can get there. I mean, like, wouldn't it be great if we could say to Saudi Arabia, come and rebuild Gaza and lift these people up from the filth they lived in, right? Being abused by Hamas, right? And give them dignity, give them life, right? Come and build infrastructure, hotels, right? There's so much. Invest in it. It can be in the freaking Riviera of the region. And look, Arabs do hospitality better than anybody else. They really do, right? There is no hospitality like Arab hospitality. And I just think that's the way to get peace, right? We can all live in peace together, right? But yeah, look, it's a very good question you ask. Yeah, I think they have a right, right? I think in the same way, everybody has a right. Fine, with that, I still need to pee. But I'll be wrapping up. I'm back on Saturday night late, or Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock. So, Rabbi, what are your thoughts on the Resistance fan film? I haven't seen it yet. I will. I really got to pee. I will check that out. We'll talk about the My Cock Rages On. Really? That's your name here? My Cock Rages On. I got to put this on screen because tell you that doesn't do that when you get older, right? You more just massage it back to sleep. What's Resistance fan film? Let's have a quick look. Resistance fan film. Oh, man, I really need to pee. The Star Wars Resistance. We got a Star Trek Resistance. We have what's this? Like a second Doc. I don't know. Okay, fine. We're going to look at the trailer for this. Okay. You stifled my pee because I am intrigued. See, the trouble with the Doctor Who fan films is Star Trek ones work better, I think, because it's less dependent on having a first-class actor, right? Than Star Trek, right? I don't think you need first-class actors for that. This looks very good. This looks very professional, well put together.
We've only got to land it on a train line. That's what we've done.
Got to get the old guy shifted before the 715 at Dover comes steaming along here and smashes it to bits.
Is that Ben and Polly or different people? I can't tell. Is that Jamie? Okay.
Run! Who were those men?
French Gestapo.
Ben will free Jamie, and then the four of us will meet back here.
I think we've all seen enough of this time and place, don't you?
It kind of works better on all shows. But look, this looks really cool.
What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. Sorry.
I really would rather not have to shoot a young lady.
Yeah, I think audio is a place for fan entertainment. But again, I don't want to diss it because making video is like insanely hard and expensive. And especially recreating these roles, it's very hard work. I mean, you need like very professional actors, especially Troughton, who is full of expression, right? But man, it's like I really support the salute the.
I know what the three of you are.
And I don't know if she's supposed to be Polly, but she's very hot. Okay, I find her very hot.
I know what the three of you are, and I have good reason to believe that one of you is a Gestapo spy.
Randall's right. My uncle.
I'll check it out. That certainly looks interesting, right? I'll check it out before next stream, Saturday night. I think maybe you're doing a fan film. You're probably better making your own Doctor and your own TARDIS crew because it's recreating is very difficult. Very. I mean, Stephen Noonan can do it because he's such a good actor, right? But I will definitely check it out. Certainly. Much respect to people for making it. Fine, with that, I will go and pee. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Back on Saturday, 5 o'clock. Hit the end.